Okay, my name is Shaprella Johnson. I am the facilitator and the organizer of this project. And I have a friend with me today who's going to talk about her role as a primary caregiver for her mother. And I have her on a recording or on the phone. And I am going to introduce myself first and foremost. My name is Shaprella Johnson. I am a social services counselor and worker here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I just want to get my friends' idea on how it feels to be a caregiver and how it affects her emotionally and how she deals with her her role as being a caregiver. So I'm going to my friend can actually introduce herself. Okay, what is your name?
My name is, I'll say Maria.
Okay, how are you doing today, Maria?
I'm doing okay.
Okay, that's good. Okay, tell me a little bit about your background. Like, you were born in Milwaukee.
Yes, born and
Okay.
raised in
Okay.
Milwaukee.
Okay, you were born and raised here.
And, uh-huh. Yeah, I
Okay.
was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And, I don't know, I guess I'll let you ask questions.
Okay. Okay, so you were born and
Further you
raised
want me to
here.
go.
Okay, so you come from a two-parent household. You have two brothers. And did you ever think that you would be like being your mother's primary caregiver? Did you ever think that in the future that this would be the situation, that you think that things would be different?
No, actually, when I was younger, I didn't want to be a primary caregiver of my mom. In the beginning, I did not think like that. But when I was a lot younger, I didn't think like that. You know, you don't think like that. You think your parents are going to, be here forever. You don't think that they're eventually, would
Okay.
ever get sick or anything, or, everybody's parents or whatever would pass or whatever one day. But you don't ever think that you would be the primary caregiver. No, I never thought like that, not when I was younger.
Okay. So you were born, what year you were born in was 1980?
Yes, that's the year I was born in.
Okay. How do you look at like younger people now? Like, well, we're young, but much younger people who were born like in the 90s and beyond that. How do you look at them, and what do you think about, like, in the future, how it's going to be for them? Are they going to have to be caregivers too, or do you think that they are going to how do I put this? Do you think a lot of them take for granted like the time that they have now versus when they get like older and they'll have to have more responsibility?
Yeah, I think that they take a lot of that for granted now. Like, a lot of them now want to just live their life and they want to, do whatever they want to do. Because I guess that's how most, like, 20-year-olds and stuff and everything and things like that or whatever think. When you start to reach up into your 30s, you start to think more of life a little bit more seriously. I mean, I think as far as girls or women, but I don't know about men. Men sometimes do not mature, even in their 30s. Men don't mature sometimes until they're like, I would say around 45 to 50.
Yeah, that's true.
And by that time, they're more mature to take on a role, I guess, of more responsibility.
That's true.
By that age. So when they hit men more mature, more bit about 45 to 50, I would say.
Okay.
And women mature faster, but yeah, they just people, I just think they just want to probably do what they want to do right now.
Yeah, I understand that. I definitely understand how you feel about that one, because it seems like men take a while to mature than women. Women have to be more responsible than men in some ways. Like men have to be responsible too, but it's a little different. Like they still want to have fun, but then they have to be like responsible in some ways as well. But they still try to make that extra time for a little fun. But women have to be responsible always. But let's let's do some icebreakers right now. I just want to find out some things about you before you were the primary caregiver of your mother. So, Marie, what are some of your hobbies? What are some of your interests? What are some things that you like to do when you have spare time and fun time?
Oh well, before I had my son and stuff, I would love to go out and love to go to the club and stuff and everything, things like that. I would love to go to the club and go dance or whatever. I'd love to go to the movies. Um, on occasion, I would like to go, have a few drinks or whatever and stuff. Like if it was like a restaurant bar, something like that, I would like to go there. Um, you know, I would like to hang out like at places like State Fair, Summerfest when they had rides, stuff like that. Just fun stuff going out, whatever, or even just stuff going like to the zoo or anything to kind of get out the house that was kind of like fun or family oriented.
Okay.
I like to do stuff like that.
Okay, and like even with you having your son now, I know that it's tougher now, but you still could do those things just to release some stress. You know, go for a back massage. I mean, like you can find different ways to relieve stress. I know it's tough with you having a child now, but there's different ways that you could relieve stress. But I know it's easier said than done. I know people are like, oh, you could relieve stress in this way or that way. But it's easier said than done when, you have a child. So I definitely understand. What are some other things, what are some other interests you had before, like when you were in school? Like what were some of your interests?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yes.
Go ahead, Divya.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm still recording. I was asking you what were some more of your interests before you had before you even before you were an adult, like when you were a child and a teenager. What were some of your dreams? What were some of the things that you really liked, like people you admire, famous people, things like that?
Well, I've always admired like singers and stuff like Beyonce or whatever, and things like that. She was always one of my favorite artists or whatever growing up, and a lot of other artists I can't think of now right at this time. Whoever artists was TLC, all them back like in the 90s and stuff and everything.
Who is you said POC?
Huh?
You said who is POC?
TLC. You remember TLC?
Oh, you said TL. You know what? I was just watching a video of TLC today too. It's so crazy that you bring that up. Okay, yeah, TLC.
Yeah, TLC, Beyonce, Toni Braxton. I liked all of her songs.
Okay. Okay.
With a lot of different singers and stuff. I used to like stuff like that.
Okay.
I used to like a lot of rappers and stuff and everything too. I don't know if I really want to put all them in there.
Okay. Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Like conducting this interview.
Okay. Yeah, I know growing up, like I liked pretty much the same things that you liked. It's just the only thing was that like the way that I was raised, like religiously, I was raised very religiously. So it was a lot of things that I couldn't do, but I would try to do them still. I had to be kind of sneaky in school. Like I joined different things, and even though they didn't encourage me to do it, I would still join anyways. So I was like, you only go through school one time, so you got to join something. You can't just not join things. You know, it was only, that's it. Like, after school ends, that's it. You can't just not join stuff. So, okay, so we're 10 minutes into the discussion. So, okay, so I want to talk about the subject I want to talk about with your caregiving. Okay, I know this is really tough to break down, but okay, this is the best way that I could put it. Okay, like with caregiving, like the emotional aspect of it, do you feel that there's not enough? Okay. Okay, so I just, okay. So okay, so is everything okay? He wanted to throw something away. Okay.
Yes, it's fine.
Okay. So with you being a caregiver, do you feel like there's not enough attention, especially because it seems like women are mostly the ones that are taking care of older relatives, children, especially if you have like a special needs child, but children, period. It seems like there's not enough attention, in my opinion, to the things that women have to sacrifice in order to, the things they have to do in order to make things better for other people. It's like kind of like people kind of take it for granted, because if these people didn't have like a primary caregiver, I mean, it wouldn't be too good. I mean, like it seemed like many years ago, like you had families, like they banded together, like when my stepdad's side of the family, when my grandmother was passing away, like my step grandmother died in 1994, it seemed like the family really banded together when she was dying. And like it just seems different now. It seems like people, it's just so different. Like, you know what you understand where I'm coming from? I just want to get you to understand, like, where
parents are more distant. It seems like families are more distant. They're not as close bonded as they were back in almost in slavery times. Slavery times, everybody was like together with everything. It seemed like as years went on, it seemed like everybody just grew apart.
Yeah. I mean,
they started doing their own thing.
Even back like in the 90s, it seemed like families were closer. The 80s and 90s, it seemed like families were closer. It's like, I don't know what it is with this like internet age. It's like people aren't as close, and I feel it every day. It's like really just like sad, and I think that's gonna make it more, people are gonna be more vulnerable. Even people, like, let me put it like this: people who aren't necessarily like people who need help, basically. And I know that's where the system comes in, like with social work. But I think that you still need a family member just in case something goes wrong. You need somebody who you know is going to have your back. And I think that's where the problem comes in. And like, I worked at a nursing home, and I saw some things when I worked there. You know, I worked there last summer, like summer before last. And I saw some things. I mean, like, it was okay, but you definitely got to have a family member or a friend, somebody that you know is going to have your back to help you, because I mean,
it makes you think like you don't want to wind up there.
Yeah, no. When I get older, I do not want to be in a place like that. But you know, nursing homes are kind of fading out anyways. It's more about at home care than nursing homes. But but generally speaking, like, how's it affected you emotionally? Like, do you have to have like a diary? Do you do videos? Do you do recordings in order to get your feelings out when it comes to being like the primary caregiver of your mother? And like with you having a child too, like, is it a very emotional?
Yeah, it can get emotional. It can get stressful at times and stuff and everything. I don't have a diary or a book or nothing like that. I just try to deal with it, basically.
Okay.
Or I try to, like, at times, like, at home, I try to go into my quiet space, or if I can get quiet, and just, either try to relax or watch a movie, or try to, read a book, or, or go on social media to try and block it out my mind, so to speak. So I don't have to really think about it and stuff as much. It kind of takes me into another world, so I can kind of, get away from that or whatever. But I don't like write a diary, or I don't, my thing is to like, that's why I used to, before I had my son, I used to go out and enjoy myself and go out a lot, and used to, either, well, not even a whole lot, even back then, but when I was much younger, I used to want to go out and go hang out and stuff and everything a lot, or just to get out the house, because won't keep me from being in that environment too long, to be thinking about that stuff all day, every day. Because it can kind of like get to you if you think about stuff too much.
Okay, I understand. I understand where you're coming from with that, because I'm not going to say I understand where you're coming from. I'll say that I sympathize with you, but I can't empathize with you, because I don't have children myself yet, and my mother, she's doing good. I mean, in the future, things might change. They are going to change. I know they're going to change, because people eventually they're going to get older, and they're going to have more, problems, more ailments. So I know that things are going to change. So, but I definitely can understand, because when I worked at that nursing home, I was like, oh, wow, like this is eye-opening, because there wasn't enough CNAs for the residents. So a lot of the residents weren't getting like their care. So they were like basically like not getting the attention that they needed. And I was in recreation. I wasn't even a CNA, and they needed so much help. They needed a lot of help. So they needed a lot of help. So I definitely understand where you're coming from with that. So I'm trying to think of anything else. Okay, so are there any other ways that you're being affected? Like, do you feel tired? Do you feel like you just need to have you don't feel like you need to be on medication, do you?
No, no. I just need some time away, just some sleep and some rest. If I can get some sleep and some rest, you know what I'm saying. Even going to my job, that even helps me to kind of cope with it a little bit.
Also, going to work helps.
And you know what I'm saying. It helps me kind of cope, and then when I can come back and kind of think clear and think straight. For me, anyways.
Okay. So that's so going to work helps you to cope with it. Okay, I understand. Okay, that I can see how that can help, because sometimes you talk to your coworkers